Hey again, this is Colonial. Should be my sixth installment, and this turn I've gotten very lucky. If you notice here, two magic sites, both air sites, and a third air site. So I've gone from 6 air gems per turn to 11 air gems per turn. If you look at the graphs, my gem income has bulbed enormously. I'm starting to bulb up, but I'm still nowhere near Baratos. So basically, as a throwaway, I decided to have this guy search the desert he was standing in, and it got me 2 air gems and a fire gem. I also found 2 air gems that Alm had found over here, and I found an air gem over here. So that increases my air gem income by 5. Also, yeah, I made a trade, so I got a bunch more air and death gems. I also lucked into 400 gold event and an amazing 800 gold and a bunch of gems event. I also got a bag of wins. Very handy. That's worth like 30 air gems right there. So this turn was all good for me. In terms of the war, there weren't any major battles. I did fight a lone ogre in Falm, which showed me that my scripting wasn't perfect, basically. So I've pushed all my Parting of the Souls guys up to the very front of the battlefield because it has low range. Also, it has a huge cost in terms of fatigue, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But for now, I don't think I'll need to bother. I think it's a really good idea to give these guys a Skull Staff because a Death 3 one, it only gets fatigue 10, whereas a Death 1 gets fatigue 40. So hopefully it'll all be good. I didn't lose anyone, of course, because it wasn't a real battle. Um, he's down to 4 provinces, though, as you can clearly see. So it's all bad for Alm. I don't think he's got long to live. Which brings me, of course, to the war with Baratos that hasn't started yet. The big deal here is I'm about to hit Construction 6, so my recruitment of mages is people who will benefit me for construction. I'm going to get rings of water bracelets, and I'm going to get demon banes, actually. I'm about to fight Baratos, who's probably going to have demon SCs. So that's going to be a big deal. So I'm buying one Zon Priestess, Zon Mage, and I think I have it currently set to a Zon, but I'm going to change it to a Seraphine because they can drop, they can get me Lightless Lanterns. So I'm going to actually hit the Lightless Lanterns and the Skull Mentors pretty hard. That'll burn through my death and fire, but I now have a fire income of 5, so it'll be much easier to build up the gems required for that empowerment, which I will eventually do, but it's not yet the moment, I don't think so. Instead, I'm gonna use those gems on that. Um, Hopefully that'll mean that I get Maelstrom in less than 6 turns, because I'll be having a huge bulb to my research. Clearly, Baratos' terrifying thing right here, that comes from hitting Construction 6, and I don't know exactly whether he's getting mentors or lanterns or what he's doing, but I'd like my graph to be that steep, if not that high up. Um, so, yeah, that's more or less it. Not too much going on. But that was a great turn for me. It's really, I'm now thinking with Micklin on side, we might beat Baratos. It's the first time I've been thinking that. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping still that he just dicks around for a little bit longer. If I were him, as I've mentioned, I would not be dicking around. I would be invading someone. But he is turtling, and that's good for me because I still have this bit of a war to finish off. That should be it this turn. Nothing too fancy. All that extra gold means I'm finally getting my 5th temple. And, yeah, when the war comes, Baratos' capital is here. I'm going to have a fortress right here, so I'm guessing this plain right here is where our big army is. It's going to be the equivalent of Falm. His army will go this way, I'll go that way. The other place where the war will be fought is up here because that's where he borders closest to Micklin's capital and to my capital, but he doesn't have a fortress up there yet. So basically, when the battle comes, I'm going to want to dominate, of course, the thug game. He's not doing that great for thugs, and I think he's just going to have these demon SCs, and I think I'm going to be pretty good against them. I'll show you how I deal with that when it comes along. But yeah, I'm not at all unhappy this turn. I think I might be doing pretty well. Next turn, I attack his capital, and I very much hope to win that. That would be a big help to my speed of everything else. I'm also hoping I might... He's basically down to these, I guess, 3 forces. I'm going to hope to surprise them and kill them with Eagle Kings. So we'll see how it goes down. See you all next turn. Alright, so I smashed into Ulm's capital, and that thing happened. The same thing that always happens every time I smash into Ulm. I got completely obliterated. Let's have a look. Alright, so Actually, I learned something important this battle, at the cost of 12 battle mages. And I learned that Parting of the Soul is not actually adversely affected by Storm at all, because it summons these Black Hawks, but they appear right where the um, the evocation bit of it hits, so they don't need to fly. So they're not being... Flying in Storm doesn't really matter all that much. So yeah. That means that I'm going to have another go, rebuild my army, smash into him again, only this time I'm going to mix up Parting of the Soul with Thunderstrike spam. Hopefully that'll be what does it for me and actually finally winning a battle against Ulm. So yeah, this war has been one after another, a series of different strategies that I try and fail. I think you'll see a pattern here that I don't have a very strong army at all. I win this war, and I've basically won the war by now because of my Eagle Kings. If I had to do it again, I would double down on the thugging, and I wouldn't... The problem is the thugging costs gems. These armies that keep coming up and getting slaughtered cost gold, so there's no real way I can move my emphasis towards thugs away from army. So... I mean, maybe this next strategy will be the one, and then I'll know that the whole time I should have been using that strategy, but it may well not as well. I've moved all my guys up. If you notice, we're much closer to each other than we have been in the past. And he is able to hit my battle mages. He actually kills a few before the rout comes. It's not altogether good, but I will rebuild, try again. I might not even... I guess I'll have to show you the battle. At least until Parting of the Soul comes out and you can see how it plays. I wish there was some way I could jump through these battles. There actually is. Alright, so the Parting of the Souls begin to go off, and as you see, these Black Hawks just spawn right next to where the Soul Slay goes down. So, oh yeah, I was able to pause my recording for a minute there. I might be able to do that in the future. It's giving me a bit of hiccups, so I'm not completely sure. But yeah, basically, the Parting of the Soul is very solid at keeping his army tied up. You'll see next turn he doesn't do anything but kill Blackhawks. The problem is, it does apparently need to be done in conjunction with Thunderstrike, because I need some way to kill them while they're stuck. And the Soul Slay part just doesn't seem to get the job done, at least not for Almish heavies. But yeah, basically, aside from the fact that I'm not dealing him any damage, I think I'm doing pretty well. An awful lot of his evocations are wasted on useless targets like these here corpse constructs, or the Blackhawks, or these flankers, which you will see in a minute. I'm still dropping all these mist forms. I don't think it's really the best idea because he's no longer doing Rain of Stones, but at the same time I am losing guys. Oh, there, I have these archers who fire cold, but they don't seem to be delivering the mail either. Here's my flankers. And just the same as every other battle, they're going to get hit by a few magma eruptions, kill a few of his guys, although this time the Blackhawks also get hit by magma eruptions. I think I'm kind of getting together. I think my next strategy may actually finally work, and it might have been what I should have been doing from the get-go. But you live and learn. It's good that I'm learning in this first battle against Ulm, where the war's basically already won. Then I'll kind of know how to play Caelum by the time the war with Baratos comes along. I'm definitely going to have a time when I give you a redux or whatever of this war when it's once I've got his capital sieged or whatever. Alright, I will jump forward a few turns again. Alright, I'll show you one proper volley of this parting of the soul. We'll see the best. There it comes now. So, of course, it's solid, but it can't be my only battle magic. I mean, this was a foolish fight. I didn't need to lose like this. If I just, practiced with Parting of the Soul, but that would have taken a couple hours, and I was lazy, and I lost this battle as a result. But now I know, and hopefully my next strategy will actually work. It probably won't. Probably he'll, for some reason, fuck me up again, and I'll be stuck with Ulm forever, a thorn in my side. But I think I will be able to get it done. I'm gonna change up a couple of things. Yeah, I had one Eagle King casting Orb Lightning. I think he killed most of the dead Ulmish are either him or friendly fire, and he doesn't lose many troops anyway. But yeah, look at that. That's a solid amount of Blackhawks. If I had that plus Thunderstrike spam, I'd be doing very well. Yeah, that's more or less it. Alright, I'll quit showing you this awful battle. Yeah, look at that. I just got hit in the face with the magma eruptions. I think he took out several battle mages. They might have all been dead by the time retreat came around. But I'll mess around with it. So, these, you may notice these corpse constructs are getting killed by flying shards. They're pretty crappy. Butcher's Bill. Look at that. Harib Saris, 15 down to 12. Eagle King survived. Pretty much a slaughter. He lost 11 dudes. He has 23 Warrior Smiths on the go. Alright, so aside from the battle, things are fine. I did a bunch of site searching. I found nothing. I got some Lamias, I could show you them. And I got attacked by a vampire. Not a good set of, yeah, a single Eagle King should be able to do with it, but all my Eagle Kings are busy, so I'm actually gonna gear up a new one. I have a lot lying around in the lab. Lamia is a kind of a fun wingless option. I only got 10 of them, but they regenerate 7 hit points a turn, which is kind of ridiculous. And when they die, they turn into a serpent. They are pretty good. So that's yet more grease for my mill. Yeah, so I really kind of wish that battle had been won, of course, because then I could really turn my attention to the Baratesian front or whatever. But as it is, that's going to continue to be a thorn in my side, hopefully just for 2 or 3 more turns. I'm bringing my, what's it called? It's my wall shakers down to take his other castle. I'm kind of hoping to get the other castle soon, because I think that'll be important in the war effort, because it's right near a lot of his power over here. That's his capital. It's 3 squares from his capital. He also has this fort, so I think this is going to be a center of action. I'm guessing that in the war, this is going to be a center of action over here, and this is going to be a center of action over here. So I'd like to have my fort in the southern center secure. And, alright, the big deal this turn is I got finally Construction 6. I am pushing up to Evocation. It's going to take 5 turns, but I'd love to see Maelstrom hit the table. I think it would be a big deal. I'm actually gearing up to drop a Naiad next turn as well. Now that I have Construction 6, I have the Water Rings, which I need to get a Naiad. That should be pretty fun. I'm thinking of actually using them in battle, so I'll show you that when I come to it. I'm also grabbing 4 research boosters, 2 Skull Mentors, 2 Lightless Lanterns. I'm hoping to at least get a bit more of a hockey puck on my graphs of research over here like he did. If I can make mine about half as, what is it, as a tight an angle as his, I would be happy. You see, even Micklin's starting to tighten up his angle. So it's my turn to do that. So this turn I'm really doing that. I'm also gearing up the king. I only have 3 dwarven hammers, but I'm doing 10 forgings this turn, so I'm not allowing my dwarven hammers to cut into my forging regime. If I had 10 dwarven hammers, that would be nice, but I don't, so I'm using them all in the most effective way I can and just forging whatever I need to anyway. I'll try and make sure I never forge less than 3 things a turn, but I could easily be doing more. I might grab a couple more hammers over the course of events, but I won't go more than 5 or 6. Yeah, I'm keeping up the site searching. Let's look at that graph, gem income. If you see, I'm at the stage now where when I drop Maelstrom, I'll be equal to him. Even Micklin is starting to shoot up. But yeah, gem income is pretty much more important than research at the moment because I have plenty to do with my gems. The research is just even more options to do with my gems at this point. I'm not even getting any more battle magic. I think I have all the battle magic I'm ever going to need. No, that's not true. Enchantment 6 actually gives me something, but I'm very close to all the battle magic I'm ever going to need. Yeah, so that's more or less it. Now I'm really turtling, preparing for the war, and I'm hoping there won't be a big battle next turn, so I can talk to you a bit more about it in a second. See you then. Alright, so there was no battle this turn, like I'd hoped. I found another air gem, bringing me up to 12, and the entrance to the fortification has been breached. I got some pretty decent things as well. Let's see. Yeah, I got a death gem as well, so I'm up to 9 of those. But yeah, I'm basically hitting him in the capital once again, and this time hopefully it'll go well. I'm actually bringing out, I was kind of hinting at this last turn, I'm bringing out some Eagle King thugs. I have 2 of them, and they are going to actually attack his rear and hopefully get a few kills in. They might die, but hopefully they won't. I have 4, let's see, 6 Parting of the Soul guys, and 7 Thunderstrike guys, and 2 Eagle Kings. So I'm going to drop Wrathful Skies. I'm much more hopeful about this battle than the last one, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But, well, I guess I was hopeful about the last one before it caved in. But yeah, this time it should actually finally work. So we'll look at that in a second, but in terms of the rest of the thing, I'm still gunning down these Lightless Lanterns and Skull Mentors. My research has gone up a tiny little bit because I've brought a lot more Battle Mages out. But hopefully that'll pick up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all my kings are very busy. 2 of them are attacking this castle, and I'm not guessing that that's going to be too much of a problem for 2 kings. One of them's going after these vampires. That might not go as well, but I'm hoping it will. And 2 of them are actually being brought to the main battle. So I have much more vectors of dealing him damage this time than last time, so hopefully that'll work. Let's take a look at the score graphs. I am starting to catch up. There's not enough provinces on the map for me to actually get up to as many provinces as him, but I'll have a respectable 2nd place. Forts next turn I will catch up. Income is, just going to probably stick around there, what with the death scales and all. Gem income, I'm slowly improving it, but the big deal will be when Maelstrom comes out. Research, still lousy. And I do have quite a few research things I want. I want Evocation 8, of course. I want Conjuration 6 or 7, and I want Enchantment 6 at the moment. And then I'll be sitting pretty on the research. I'll definitely have that before the next war, even if my research doesn't pick up too much. So, I guess, not a very eventful turn. But next turn we're going to have another battle, so that will hopefully go well. And if I do pin him to the fort, I will be in a good position to hit Baratos next episode. Give it 3 or 4 turns. I think Baratos is being a fool not to have attacked anyone yet, but it's him, not me. Yeah, it's giving me plenty of time to prepare. Now, he might be absolutely terrifying when he hits, but hopefully not. Alright, that's more or less it this turn. See you guys in a second. Alright, so, you know, I lost again. Let's take a look. This is getting tiring. Oh, well, I shouldn't be showing you that. Yeah, I won't show you most of the battle because the battle's decided on turn 1. You probably guessed what happened. It means that my strategy may yet work. I don't have proof whether it works or not at this stage because this cheeky bugger has managed, somewhere in this absolute throng of battle mages, I'm, yeah, searching for a needle in a haystack here. Da-da-da, happy army, everything's good. You know how I build a counter to Rain of Stones? Well, the counter relied on Rain of Stones going off on turn 2. So, of course, Rain of Stones goes off on turn 1, all my battle mages die. I have 4 kings, they all survive, but my rank and file battle mages, kaput, kaput, kaput. Come on. Well, I don't have it sped up, that's probably why. Gift of Heaven. If I could drop Gift of Heaven, I would be in a much better place. My god can drop Gift of Heaven. He's dropping it with his god. That's an avenue to think about. Look at how many battle mages. This is his first turn. And it's just him with his 28, 30 guys casting battle magic. There you go. All gone. You may think one survived, but you'd be wrong. It's actually a Sast here. They're all gone. Wait, no, there's one. One survived. But he drops Rain of Stones a second time, so I doubt he'd survive that. So what actually happened here? All dead. All my Eagle Kings survived, however. The worst of it, just to turn the nail in the coffin here, this scout was carrying 6 gems. So I'm really getting sick of this Ulm constantly beating me thing. It's amazing that I'm doing as well as against Ulm as I am, seeing as how he pretty much hard counters Caelum. Yeah, I also lose over here. I lose 2 Eagle Kings. I even lose against some vampires. So I'm not very happy, but if his army ever moves out of his capital, he's toast. So he is actually pinned to his capital right now. Because he moves out of his capital, and that same turn I could move on his capital. In fact, if he moved out of his capital this turn, I would conquer his capital out from under him. But there's still, let's see. So he has 36. He had 36, he now has 34 battle mages in his capital. He's running dangerously low on infantry, but that doesn't hardly matter. In Flemistan here, he had 14, I took out 5, he's down to 9. Actually, 15, 5, 10. So he still has 40-something mages, and they're all a nightmare to break. They're all armored, blah, 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 blah. The way I'm actually going to go for it is I'm hoping to every turn whittle him down slightly from here. I'm just going to call it a day in terms of hitting him in the face, and I'm going to do these raids. So Misform, Crick, and Self, attack, 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 retreat is what I'm going with these Eagle Kings. So lay down with their sword 3 times, then call it a day. They're immune to Rain of Stones. So that might do a bit better. I'm also dropping a Wrathful Skies, because I can. Why not? But I think every turn I'm going to hit him with, unless if it all goes horribly wrong, which of course it could. If this strategy works, I can just hit him every turn with Eagle Kings, whittle him down, because he's not replacing. So, yeah. So that's basically the end of the Elmish War for you. I could... Well, we'll see how it goes. I'll just show you the rest of this turn for now. In terms of the rest of this turn, this is my last turn of forging boosters. My research is bumped up 80 points this turn, so that'll be a hockey puck turn in the graphs a bit. It'll start to be improving in that regard, and I'm grabbing 2 Skull Mentors and 3 Lightless Lanterns this turn. But then I'm going to run out of Skull Mentors, and I should lay off the Lightless Lanterns as well, because I want to get back up to 50 Fire Gems at some point. Otherwise, I'm slowly building up a capacity for another king. Next turn I'll finish up, so the turn after next I'll have another king going. I'm starting to build up a pile of Demon Banes, I mentioned. Now, what exactly I'm going to do with them will be a surprise, but Baratos will undoubtedly have a lot of demons. So, Demon Banes, just 5 water gems a pop. Why not grab a bunch? What else am I forging this turn? Oh, I'm grabbing another Corpse Construct Factory. I'd like to start building up a pile of air gems I haven't mentioned yet, but when the war starts I want to have a good 30-40 air gems in the bank. But I have 12 a turn, so I may as well get a second Corpse Construct Factory going. I'll also probably get up to 3 by the time the war starts. And the war should be like T-4, T-5 at this stage, I would say. Actually, it would be a good idea to talk to Micklin about a firm start date where we both jump him on the same turn. Makes a lot of sense. Ulm. Yeah, Ulm. I'm just going to keep throwing these Eagle Kings at the problem. They seem to be the only thing that works. But yeah. Also up here I'm going to do something a bit fun. A single Eagle King with a bodyguard is going to drop 2 Rain of Stones on these vampires and see what I can do in terms of killing off at least all the chaffy bits. And that'll make it easier to deal with the actual vamps. Yeah, the research is plodding along. It's not much this turn. Just another... Ooh, is it going to be good? No, it's bad. Happens literally every other turn now for the past 8. So, there you go. Yeah, this strategy of not actually hitting him in the head is probably going to be the best one yet. In fact, as I mentioned, my previous strategy didn't actually get disproven. It just got trumped, basically, because once he's casting Rain of Stones on turn 1, I can't use my Battle Mages at all. So, no matter what I do with them, it won't work. So I'm trying to throw kings at the problem. I did a wee census, and it turns out I have 11 kings at the moment, plus 1 every 2 turns, so that I'd like to see most of them doing useful stuff in the Baratos War. I don't want to have a stock of 5 kings sitting at home researching like I do now. So that'll mean a lot of gear. I've been talking to Micklin, of course, and he has a very low number of nature gems, same as me. I might turn back to using earth gems for my thugs again now. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's more or less it. And this is the last turn for today. So I will see you guys next episode. And I said I wanted him to be pinned in his capital. He kind of is pinned in his capital. What I meant was I wanted him to be sieged in his capital. And what he is pinned in his capital. So, and I still haven't conquered this fucking thing because I just lost a king against it. Actually, I'm going to show you that. Well, should I show you that? It's not that interesting. You haven't seen the kings fight in a while. Let's have a quick look. We don't need to see the actual battle. Suffice it to say, he has these 12 guys. I have these 2 guys, because his 12 guys take forever to get all their buffing and whatever through. I take out 5 of them. I lose 1 of my guys to, of course, an evocation of some kind. It's the less geared one as well. So this guy survives. This guy does not. These brimstone boots have been with me since like turn 4. But sadly they're lost now. I got them in a random event. And I think they've survived 2 people dying out from under them. But this time, no such luck. Yeah, you don't have to see this. It's stupid. You know what a thug fighting looks like. If you don't, go look at episode 2, I guess. Alright. See you guys.